Hi guys, John Madigan here from the J&J podcast. Before you listen to episode number 17, I want to give you guys fair warning that both Joseph and I sound a little tired in the beginning of this episode. We're a little nasally. We literally had just woken up to record this podcast. It was around 8:30 in the morning. As the podcast goes on, you can tell that we wake up a little bit and we sound a little bit more like ourselves. But the first half, if it just sounds like a little weird, like we're not on our game, it's because we literally just woke up and both set alarms so we can record this podcast for you guys on time. Thank you guys so much and enjoy episode number 17. Thank you. Welcome to the 17th episode of the J&J podcast. My name is John.
And I'm Joe.
Good morning, everybody. First things first, I want to give a huge shout out to Vader Boris for creating our brand new theme song that you just heard. That guy is awesome. We'll have a link so you can contact him below. Seriously, he is in a few awesome bands, and he's a great guy, good friend of mine, and he created that awesome intro you guys just heard. So Vader Boris, thank you, man, so much for listening in and doing that for us. It truly means a lot to both of us.
Yes. Now, John.
Yes.
This is a very special episode of the J&J podcast. In fact, I do believe it's the earliest J&J podcast we've ever done at 8:41 in the morning.
Yes, due to a certain somebody who wouldn't do it last night. Later on in the middle of this episode, we're gonna take a little break, and you're gonna hear a 5 to 10 minute conversation we had with these guys from Ireland, who want to bring Conor McGregor back on the UFC 200 card. We had a good interview with them, so make sure we're gonna put about 5-10 minutes in of that interview with them, and we'll also have a link to their Facebook like page that already has 38,000 likes on Facebook. We're gonna put a link to that in the description of this episode. But yes, we are up early. It is 8:43 right now in the morning. I am up because I love you guys, but normally I'd be asleep.
I'm up because I love you guys more. John just doesn't do anything with his life, so he has to sleep a little bit extra. He's like that bummy type. I actually have a lot to do, and I'm taking 35 to 40 minutes out just to spend time with you guys. I have 2 9-page papers to write, a sermon to preach, 3 classes today, and chapel. And I had to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So you know what? I love you more.
Well, I have 2 classes to do today, and that's about it. But still, I had a long day yesterday, damn it. And the fact that I'm up this early...
What, going to comedy shows?
I'm sorry?
Going to comedy shows?
I have a show tonight, yeah. There's people won't hear this until tomorrow, though. There's an awesome new concept going on in Staten Island. Today's actually the first one. It's called Comedyokey. It's where they have comedians come up, tell their jokes, and then the people that run the event, they pick a random song out of the karaoke machine, and then the comedian has to sing. So it's a mix of the two. So, I think it'll be pretty funny, so... Oh man, but also coming up really soon, we have a brand new logo coming out, and frankly, at this point here, I don't know who the hell's making the logo, but we have a new logo coming out, and you guys will see that ASAP, and Joseph and I will make a special, a little podcast announcement when you can buy that logo on t-shirts and sweatshirts and hats and coffee mugs. We're gonna be selling that real soon, I hope. We had a pretty much finished logo, but then the person spelled Joe's name wrong, so we didn't feel right selling that on a t-shirt. I don't know, Joe, would you buy a t-shirt with your last name spelled wrong?
At this point in my life, John, I realize that the Vassallo name is such a low quality that no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but we really want to get that fixed ASAP. I mean, but Joe, I mean, we're gonna be selling hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and coffee mugs. I mean, can you think of anything else that you'd like to see, like merchandise wise?
I know that this might not be possible or might not be possible right now, but I would really like to see a J&J podcast video game where
Oh
the
my god.
where the player or players, okay, have to be either you or I. They get to choose, right? And the whole point of the game is getting to a particular place on time to do the podcast. So, for instance, right, today, right, they would have to go out at 5 o'clock in the morning, do the work that they had to do, come back, work on their paper, and then get to the microphone or to the computer in enough time to do the podcast.
I mean, that definitely. That first of all, I would love to see a J&J podcast video game. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, just at this time, it's just not gonna happen. Don't get excited for that. I like to see. I mean, type of paper though. I mean, I don't know if people would really. I don't know if people would get. People would probably get fed up with that type of paper. Hashtag no plagiarism. Like, MLA format.
Actually, I don't do MLA format ever, but that's besides.
Really. In my school, it's like a big deal. You have to do MLA. That's like a
No,
big
in
deal with
real
your paper.
colleges, John, we actually have to do Turabian format.
Oh man, but yeah, guys, we're gonna have that new logo for you guys. We're gonna have sizes from small to 5XL, and we're gonna make the prices as cheap as possible. Joseph and I are only receiving a very, very, very small percentage of the profits from every item sold.
So I've only got like 20 more minutes.
20 more minutes. What the? It's been less than 10 minutes. You see, guys. You see what you see. I'm willing to stay for another hour or two. Just saying.
You see, guys, you see, who loves you more, the person with all the time on the world on their hands, or the person with a very limited amount of time on their hands but still does it anyway?
I'm just saying. I love you. I'm the one that pays for everything. Damn it.
I'm the one who has to put up with John every day.
Yeah, that's true. He does have to put up with me every day. But we have a great show for you guys. I think the main topic of today is a very controversial topic. It's being discussed literally everywhere on Facebook and Twitter, and even like the political debates and whatnot. Let's talk about transgender. Being transgender. Joe, you would know a little something about being transgender, now wouldn't you?
Well, John, I realized very recently that I too at one point was a male stuck in a female's body, but then I was born.
I see. But there is a big issue and a big debate right now going on with the whole bathroom law. Now, Joe, do you know what this whole thing with the bathroom is?
Yeah, some people want to allow people who are clearly confused about their gender to go into the bathroom they identify as.
Right. Now, Joe, we need to be very careful about how we word everything, not to offend anybody, okay?
Call it for what it is, okay? If you don't know if you're a man or a woman, or if you think you're a woman when you're a man, or a man when you're a woman, you are not transgender, you are confused. It is not that hard, okay? Go into your room, lock the door, make sure no one's around, shut the windows, take out a mirror, pull down your pants, okay? If you have a vagina, you're a woman. If you have a penis, you're a man. That is biblically sound and accurate, and I have no problem saying it on the podcast.
I know. I'm just saying we don't want to offend anyone who could be listening.
You got an issue.
I'm sorry?
If that is offensive, you have an issue.
I don't have an issue. I don't find them. I'm saying other people. We don't know if we have anybody transgender. What I'm saying is we don't know if we have anybody who's transgender listening in on the show. So we have to be careful about how we word certain things.
John, if we have somebody, listen, I want you to know something, okay? If you're listening to this and you're transgender, I love you. Jesus loves you. You can be saved. The Lord loves you. It's all good, right? But you are confused, okay? There's your identity is not found in what you think you are. Your identity is found in Jesus. I wake up every day. I wake up with testosterone in me. I have the parts of a man. I enjoy being a man. I was born a man, and I'm gonna die a man. It's very simple.
Now Joe. My school did something really interesting, and honestly, I'm not too crazy. Even though I am for the fact people can be transgender, I'm not too crazy how my school did this. And I don't know if this is like directly with the bathroom law, but what they did was they took every bathroom on campus, and they kept all of the women's bathrooms the same. So the women's bathroom is exactly the same. But then they took the men's bathroom and they replaced the men's bathroom signs with a sign that says men and women. So now the men's room can be used as a men and women's bathroom, but then they have private women only bathrooms, which I think is BS.
Well, first of all, okay, let me just say this. All right, it'll be a cold day in hell before I ever let anybody with a penis go into a female restroom if my daughter or wife is there. Okay, it just ain't happening. Right? Jesus loves them and I love them. I will beat the crap out of them. They are not going into that bathroom while my wife or daughter is in there. Okay, I don't have a wife or a daughter yet, but I'm just saying, when I do, all right, it'll be a cold day in hell before. I'm so serious, John. You have no idea.
But Joe,
go to jail.
But Joe, they're not there to sexually abuse anyone. They're just there to use the bathroom.
They can use, if they have a penis, they can use the man's bathroom.
But Joe, you realize before this law took into effect, you realize you've already been going to the bathroom with transgender people. Like it's already like it's not like transgender people haven't been using the bathroom beforehand. Like it's already been happening. This is nothing new. I guarantee that you have at least once in your life have gone to the bathroom with a transgender person, regardless if you knew it or not. Whether it be at a restaurant or somewhere, I guarantee it had to have at least happened once.
Right. But here's the difference, okay? Here's what I'm saying, okay? Making it a law is something very different, right? Because if you make a law out of it, right, it becomes okay when it's not okay. Right, and then number two, right, I'm not talking about myself, right? I'm just talking about my wife or my child. Right?
But what's
extended to my mom and my grandma? Okay.
But what's gonna happen? You're mentioning all women. Like, what's gonna happen?
First of all, John, I'm assuming I've known you for 8 years, right? Your name is John, right? And I assume that you're a man.
Well, if you want to find out.
What?
So if you want to find out.
No. Like we've known each other.
Yes, I'm a male. Yes.
That you're a male. Okay. We've gone swimming and I've seen you without your shirt. All right. I'm pretty sure you're a male.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. And so, as a male, John, you tell me what thoughts go through your mind when you see a woman.
I think she's a great personality.
God, I'm like what 300 miles away from you, and I can smell the BS right through.
That's what I think. I think wow, she has a great personality.
Right. I would not want a man in the bathroom with anybody of the opposite, like any woman, right? That's in my family, whether that be my wife, my daughter, right, my mom or my grandma. Right? And at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to get flack for it, okay, I know this, women are fundamentally weaker than men, and it presents...
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, stereotypically, if you want to say, stereotypically the men are, more strong and the women are, less. But I would definitely say, like, there are women out there that can kick my ass. Like, speaking about the UFC, which you're going to hear our interview later today with the guys from Ireland, Ronda Rousey. You see Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey would destroy either one of us.
Right, but is Ronda Rousey a normal woman?
In what sense? How do you define normal?
Okay, I'll give you an example, right? Like when I think of a normal woman, I think of like somebody like maybe your mom or my mom, Deary, your nana, right? Where are they? They're small. They're tiny, right? They are fragile. Like at the end of the day, we need to put gender roles back in their place. Women are fragile, okay? Women are fragile, okay? Men are not, okay? So think about it. We look at Ronda Rousey, right? Or we look at. Do you know who China is?
Yes, yeah. China just died. Yeah.
Yeah. We look at. That's why I know who she is. We look at China, we look at Ronda Rousey, we look at these women, and we say this is not normal, and that's why they become celebrities, because they're jacked and they can take on men, right? But that's not every woman, right? And so think about it for a second, right? If you have a transgendered person, right, who's really a man, right, but like, but says that they're a woman, which I don't believe for a second anybody actually believes that they're really a woman when they're a man, but just say they say that, right, and they can go into a bathroom, right, and you have like my 5 foot like four teeny mom, right, in there, and he can do whatever he wants with her.
I don't.
Right? He's fundamentally weaker. It presents a danger.
Did you know that in this year alone, more government officials have molested people than transgender people?
John, do you realize that they're government officials? Like, does that really surprise you?
But no, it doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, it's still a fact. Like, you have you have a greater chance of getting molested by a government official than you do by a transgendered person.
Right now, as far as we know, right? But this right now, I'm saying, like, if a botch dude. Oh, here's all I'm saying. Okay, if a botch dude, and I don't trust. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I look at transgendered people, and I said it earlier in the podcast, and I'll say it again. Confused. Okay, I wouldn't want them near my family in a bathroom.
I mean, the only thing, because I want to stay neutral. I mean, my personal feeling. I'll get my personal feelings out of the way. I don't have a problem with being, people being transgender, and this is where the debate and the odd, people ask me all the time, what's the J&J podcast about, and I say it's the modern day Odd Couple. We have very different opinions on stuff, but yet we are best friends. And we don't let those opinions affect our friendship. I don't think there's anything essentially wrong with being transgender. I hate the bathroom law in my school because women get their own private bathroom and men don't, only because the women's room is always a lot longer than the men's room. So now it's gonna be like even crazier. So that's what bothers me.
Well, now wait a second though. I want to just address to what you're saying about the bathroom thing in your school specifically.
Yeah.
John, women, they can't pee standing up. Like, the line will still be short. You know what I mean?
No, the line's not short for the women's room. Joe, you go to any kind of event, the women's room is always a lot longer than the men's room.
No, that's what I'm saying, because they can't pee standing up, right? I'm saying that if you're worried about the lines getting crazy in the men's room, right, they can't, at the end of the day, no matter what, a woman, right, and this is how I know they're confused, because biologically, they're going into a man's bathroom and cannot use all the utilities in a man's bathroom. You catch my meaning, right? They can't use the urinals. Like, at the end of the day, right, the man's line is still going to be shorter. It's just there's going to be women in there, which would make me feel uncomfortable.
I did hear an argument, though, to support your reason. I did want to bring it up because I thought it was really funny. I was listening to, it's a podcast called, and Joe, you're not going to like this, but it's called Legion of Skanks. Definitely hit them up on iTunes. It's a very funny show.
Not me.
And they were saying, like, I'll ask you just the same question that they were saying. Like, Joe, if I came up to you one day, and if I was like, Joe, I was born with two hands. I think I was only supposed to be born with one. Like, this just doesn't feel right. You would think I'm crazy, right? Like, I feel.
Like I said, I wouldn't use the word crazy. I would use the word severely confused.
Right, but the difference is you would probably just make me cut off my own hand. Like, Joe, you'd be like, yeah, I agree. Like, you should cut off your hand. Like, you
Probably not, John. That's a mess.
That's a mess. That's right. You'd have to clean it up. I mean, I only have one hand. I mean, I can't do it. Oh man. But it's definitely a difficult topic, and I was surprised about Trump's stance on it. I did not think Trump would be for it, and
I just want to ask you, what's so difficult about it? Like I'm asking you the God's honest truth. You just said to me that if you came up to me and said, I think I should only have one hand, and you cut off your hand, I would think you were crazy. And that's perfectly reasonable. But a man being born with a penis saying he thinks he should be born with a vagina, or a woman being born with a vagina saying she thinks that she should be born with a penis isn't crazy? Like, help me out here. I don't get it.
No, and Joe, I don't think either one of us will ever truly get it, because I believe a lot of it's mental. I mean, I don't, and we neither one of us have that type of mental mentality. So when you say we don't get it, like, I don't think
But
either
I
one.
guess like a question is, do you think that mental personality or that mentality is normal mentality or not?
I mean, I think like if you go to the strength, if you go down to the fact of like where you're actually going for like the sex change, like you must have tried like every option and like I mean, if this is what these people need to do to live, I mean, like it's just I mean,
You know,
it's hard for me to say talk about mental because Joe, we just don't have it. Like a lot of it has to do with like certain type of genes and whatnot, and what
certain
these.
type of genes, John. You either have a Y chromosome or you have an X and Y chromosome, and it's not that difficult.
I know, Joe, but it's just, um, but I'm saying like we don't. But I mean, like in the brain, like we don't think that way, I mean, but
We're
imagine,
not confused.
but just imagine you having to, I mean, I don't know. Can you just imagine you thinking that you were born into the wrong gender? I mean,
No, like the closest thing that I can say that I've ever gotten confused like that is in the middle of a class when I'm like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what's going on. And do you know what I don't do? I don't switch classes, okay? I ask the teacher what's going on. Like, seriously,
right.
like, if you're struggling with transgenderism right now and you're listening, go to your doctor. Say, hey, explain to me what makes me a boy. I promise you, he'll probably point it out, right? Or ask, Google it. What makes a boy a boy? What makes a girl a girl? It's not that complicated. Hell, I think I was maybe like I was really young when I figured out that I was a boy. Like maybe still in the womb when I grew a penis.
And
I
now
was
we
like, yep, I'm a dude.
I mean, yeah, I just like, but like, I mean, like, what's your thoughts like on tomboys? People who, women,
No,
who are,
there are definitely women that fall on the more masculine side, and I think that there are men that fall more on the feminine side. And I think that's okay as long as we keep it into the boundary. But for the moment, the moment that the moment someone goes past the boundary, that's when it goes too far. So the moment that a man starts becoming comfortable with what he's been given, which is his parts, right? And feels like he needs to change that or dress like a woman or act like a woman. That's too far. He can be sensitive, right? Or he can that's fine, right? A tomboy can like to play basketball or football, whatever, right? But the moment she goes over and says, "Well, I can't feel comfortable in who God made me because God doesn't make mistakes," right? Then we have an issue. At the end of the day, think about it like this. At the end of the day, every transgender people is all they are people who are looking God in the face and saying, you made a mistake, which he doesn't make a mistake.
I mean, I don't think this is an attack on religion. I don't think this is people saying God made a mistake,
And I think your problem is, John, is that you want to make God into a religion when he has a personhood to him.
Oh, no. I understand that. I understand he's a person. I don't think that's the issue here. I don't think people are out there blaming God,
But then who are they going to blame? If you're born,
I think they're blaming themselves, honestly. I think that's why.
Like if you feel like you're born in the wrong gender, right? Then who's to blame for being born in the wrong gender? Well, who made you born?
I think they're blaming themselves for feeling that way.
Right. And then in and of that self, they're acknowledging that they have a problem. So you don't indulge the problem.
Well, they probably look at it as fixing the problem.
No, it's the opposite of fixing the problem.
Well, I mean, these people are happy in the long run, though, right?
Not really.
They're not?
I was just reading an article of a transgendered woman in her 60s, and she said that she got the sex change thing, right? And it only helped the problem for like 3 or 4 years, and that was it. And then and now she's in more pain and more confusion than she was before.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can't justify the fact that it leads to confusion, but I don't. It's really hard to work to.
It's only hard because our society says it's hard. Okay, in the long run, it's actually very simple.
Maybe we should have just had a transgender person on the show with us to talk about us, to have like kind of like an inside view on the stuff. I mean, I don't know. Do you know any transgendered people?
Uh,
No, I think now that I'm thinking about it, we're doing this. like I said, we really don't structure the show too much. I'm trying to think, like we probably should have just had a transgender person on the show with us, and they could, they could have gonna give us like an inside.
Listen, John, listen. At the end of the day, we have to accept it like this, okay? Whether you're transgendered or not, nobody is confused about waking up at 8:30 in the morning to do a podcast except for me and you, okay? We're about the only people in the world confused enough to do that.
Yeah, no, totally.
I'm trying to find a transgendered person who would be like, yeah, I'll wake up at 8:30.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate waking up this early. Oh man, but so
5 in the morning, John.
I'm sorry.
Some of us had to be up at 5 a.m.
for mandatory volunteer work. I mean, I'm sorry, Joe. That
podcast. I hope you know.
That's a load of BS. Mandatory volunteer work.
Let's get off this topic right now, John.
Oh boy. But yeah, so I mean that's really just it about transgendered people. I mean, I don't have a problem with transgender people. I know Joe does.
I don't have a problem with transgendered people in the sense that they need help, they need care, just like every other human being. I have a severe problem with transgender people who want to go into the bathrooms, though. Like, so help me God, I can't go to the bathroom if a woman is in the bathroom with me. Like, it won't work.
But Joe, you wouldn't know. They're transgender.
But John, you can sense when a woman is in the room, okay? They have a different scent to them. They have a different personality. They have a different walk. They have a different gait. Like, okay? I know when I walk into a room, right? And when I smell BO, I'm like, that is a man smell, okay? But when I walk in and I smell perfume and sweetness, well, that's a woman smell.
But you don't get it. It's transgender. They're gonna be like a man as much as possible. Or if they're a woman, if they're a woman, they're gonna be like a man. And if they're a man, they're gonna be like a woman as much as possible. You know, I don't think Caitlyn Jenner is Caitlyn Jenner's wearing perfume and everything. You know, she's doing that. You know,
John, I can guarantee you that Caitlyn Jenner, quote unquote, which isn't really her real name,
Bruce Jenner. Well, no. Caitlyn Jenner is her real name. She did legally get her name changed to Caitlyn.
Bruce Jenner, still has all the hormones of a man, sweats like a man. You put him on a treadmill, and you're gonna find out real quick that he is not a lady. Okay.
Well, I mean, he does get those hormone treatments, though. I mean,
hormone treatments does not equate to hormone replacement. Okay.
John, isn't that what it does? It replaces the hormones?
What?
Isn't that what it does? It just replaces the hormones?
Does it replace it or does it add on to it? Because those are two different things.
I believe it replaces it. It takes out the old ones and puts in the new ones.
I don't think you can put in new hormones. I could be wrong. I'm not a doctor.
Oh, man. But, yeah, it's a very sensitive topic. And I hope we didn't lose any. Imagine, like, there's some guy, he wants to sponsor us, and he listens to this episode, and he's like, yeah, no, never mind.
We'll realize something, that you are more, you're more good about it than I am, and that's okay.
Right, I don't want to say I'm more politically correct, because I do say a lot of non-politically correct things. But, I don't know, it just never bothered me. Oh, man. But, Joe, what do you have planned for the rest of the day?
Well, I want to try to, if we can get this done soon, I would like to try to take a little bit more of a nap before I have chapel at 11. Then I have room inspection at 1, and then I have to preach at 1:30, and then I have class at 2:45, and then I have a 10-page paper to write.
I think this would be a good time where we're kind of like right in the middle of our episode. I think Joe and I we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come right back. But while we're gone, we're going to give you a short clip from our interview with Sean and I believe it was Paul, right?
Yes.
Sean and Paul from Ireland, great guys from the petition to bring Conor McGregor back on UFC 200. We had them on the other day, and so here's just a piece of our interview with them. A link to their Facebook page is in the episode description, so go and like their Facebook page, really, and we'll be right back. So we're here, 17th episode of the J&J podcast. We have Sean and Paul here with us from the Bring Conor McGregor to the UFC 200 Facebook page that has spread like wildfire. Now, Sean, you're the one that worked on the page initially.
Yeah.
So how did you get to like 33,000 likes so quickly?
I don't know. I mean, like, the day I set it up, it just went crazy. It was the first one made, and when I heard the news, I went crazy, and yeah, it just blew up. Other pages shared it, and it just flew up.
Now, what do you think? Like, do you think Conor McGregor has seen this page? Like, do you think did you guys, clearly have the biggest page out there on Facebook currently for this petition to bring Conor McGregor back? Do you think he's seen it? Have you heard anything?
Well, I just like to say, hi, I'm Paul. I just like to say, you'd be surprised. A lot of posts on Facebook that we may think that long post Conor McGregor put up about wanting to fight in the UFC 200 card. Very rarely he posts, and I see that in other fighters that I train with. Like, they've very little control over their social media accounts. So unfortunately, he might not have seen the page, but that's not saying that he didn't hear of it. No.
Right, totally.
I wanted to just ask you guys a question about McGregor's look, because I've only seen one fight, and it was of him, and so I just saw the gorilla on his chest, and I was kind of blown away. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that it's an intimidation factor, or do you think it was just like, oh, like, I'm just gonna get this really cool tattoo on my chest?
Well, I think that you should be. I don't think that he got a tattoo of a girl on his chest to make people scared of him. I mean, most people fighting wouldn't be scared of a tattoo. You have to think that it's in his thoughts, and what he thinks is, if he likes it, he likes it. So nobody really apart from him knows why he got it. But I'd say, if I had to guess, it was just out of pure, like, oh, I think this looks class or whatever.
So those of you who don't know, Conor McGregor has a tattoo of a gorilla eating a human heart on his chest, which I think is incredible, honestly.
I feel like that says it all about his fighting style. It just I think it speaks it all of, like, all the aggression and everything.
Well, he had gone on Conan, and they had asked him that question. They had asked him, "What do you think the tattoo? Why did you get that tattoo? What about it?" Now, Conan is obviously a comedy show. Do you guys get Conan in Ireland?
No, but you see it on Facebook.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, he was on the Conan talk show, and they had asked him that, and I believe his answer was something like, he's like, "Oh, I got a tattoo of a gorilla eating a heart, because when you see a gorilla eating a heart, you know you're gonna die." It was something to that effect. I just thought that was really funny, and that, it's totally Conor, and no, I want to bring it back a little bit to the Jose Aldo fight. Do you think Jose Aldo was genuinely scared of Conor McGregor that whole time?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I mean, going into it, I think he was too pumped up going into it, Jose Aldo. He felt he had to kill Conor McGregor early and get it done fast, but I think Conor McGregor just made Jose Aldo try too hard, really, at the beginning.
Yeah, like, when we saw him when he was walking in, he was shaking in the corner of the octagon, and he was kind of down his legs, if you get me. He didn't look comfortable at all, and Conor always looks comfortable, but he didn't look comfortable at all. And I think that told the story from how the fight developed.
Totally. Now, if there were in the future to be a rematch between Jose Aldo and Conor McGregor, because I can see Dana White setting that up, if Jose Aldo wins at UFC 200, I can picture him giving him a shot at Conor McGregor for the featherweight title. Do you think the same thing would happen? Do you think Conor would get into his mind again, or do you think now that Conor has a loss in the UFC to Nate Diaz, Jose Aldo wouldn't feel that way towards him again?
That could be a bad factor for Aldo, though, because Aldo's taking more hits at McGregor. If you look on his Facebook, even he's putting up more. You can't run anymore, and all this shite or rubbish, sorry, than and he's not taking any hits at Edgar really. So
Yeah.
I think that's where his mind's at. I think he's focused on the McGregor fight more than the one at 200.
Right. Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, he's got to focus himself on the Edgar fight, though, because Dana White's not going to let him fight McGregor if he doesn't win Edgar. That just rhymed, but but we gotta. But so yeah. So I don't think that's going to happen. But so you don't think Jose Aldo would be scared to fight McGregor again? You don't think he'd be shaking in the corner and whatnot?
I think he'll hide it better, but I do think he'll go down early enough as well again.
Okay, so you think it might be like a 15-minute, not a 15. I'm sorry, not a 15-second fight.
It won't be 15 seconds, but it won't be 5 minutes either.
I see.
Welcome back, fans. It is great to hear from you again. I know you missed us for the whole 5 minutes that we were gone.
Well,
But
they really didn't have to miss us because technically we were talking. It was just a pre-recorded interview.
well, we hope you enjoyed those lovely Irish accents of our good friends in Ireland. I forgot to ask them during the interview. I really wanted to ask them if they've ever met a leprechaun, but I just didn't.
Oh man. And by the way, again, if you go to the episode description of this episode, you'll see a link to the petition to bring Conor McGregor back on the UFC 200 card. Highly recommend you go and like that page. Over 38,000 likes. So go and like their page. And it was awesome talking to them. And we might do another show with them. Who knows? But so Joe, what'd you have for lunch yesterday?
Yesterday. I did have lunch yesterday, but what was it? I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Do you know what you're having today, though?
No, we don't find that out until lunch.
No, Joe. I mean, can you leave the school and come back to get something to get lunch?
Yeah, but there's really not much around.
What do you have around you?
We have a Save-A-Lot.
A what?
It's like oh gosh, what can I compare Save-A-Lot to?
Save a like a dollar store.
A little bit. They have a better variety than a dollar.
But wait, is that food? Is that?
They have food, various knickknacks. It's mostly a grocery store. It's like a grocery store.
Okay.
And then we have a gas station, and we have a pizzeria, and that's literally it.
So the pizzeria sounds like the only thing, the actual food place, it doesn't.
If I wanted to go out and get hot food, yes.
I mean, you don't have anything else around you that you can walk to?
Not in the town, no.
Not in the town. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't. I feel like that would be really hard for me. Like when I came up and spent a week with you in Rochester, which by the way I really can't wait to do again. I kind of feel like it's gonna I mean, it's definitely a learning experience for me. I can't picture living that way full time. I mean, aren't there certain aspects of living in New York City that you miss a lot?
Oh yeah, all the time.
I mean,
I miss 24-hour stores. I miss being able to walk places. I miss buses. I miss trains. I miss a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to. I mean, honestly, Joe, if you don't drive where you live, I mean, you have a hard time getting around. I mean, is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. I miss being able to walk to a movie theater. The closest movie theater to my house is about 20 minutes away.
Oh man, so you can only get there.
And the closest movie theater to Lima, where I am right now, is a full 45 minutes away.
That's insane. I mean, so I bet you can't wait to come back down this summer then, right?
Yeah. If I can make it down, I would love to.
What do you mean if? What's this if crap?
If I can make it down, I would love to.
Why would you only if, why?
Many reasons, John, and we'll talk about them when I'm not dirt tired at 9:15 in the morning.
Hey, buddy, this was your idea.
Should we tell the fans what actually happened? Okay, I think we should tell the fans what actually happened.
Later!
Somebody did something very stupid on our what should have been our first episode and last episode of this week that we did at a reasonable time. Unless you want to get everything out in the open, John.
Joe, we're gonna talk about this later.
Exactly.
But I know I know I'll be coming up to Rochester probably the last week of July. I'll bring up the Xbox and we'll have some fun. Go get some really crappy pizza, I mean,
actually, the pizza, if we can make it to Lima, okay, the pizza.
How would we make it to Lima?
What?
How would we make it to Lima?
It's a 30-minute drive.
Dude, I don't know where I'm going though.
Yeah, we'll ask Siri.
But wait, is anyone gonna be letting me drive the car now that you guys have like nice cars now?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
I mean, you have to admit, I did really good with your mom's car when I was up there.
Yeah. Should we tell the puppy story, John?
Yeah, go tell the puppy story.
So, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, if I know you personally and you're listening because you know me and we happen to be in the car, I will never do this to you. I would only ever do it to John because he's my best friend and I can play with it. But what happened was we were driving and John was really nervous, right? And so I waited for him to get comfortable, and as soon as he got comfortable, I screamed, "John, puppy!" And he freaked out.
I'd be backing up. He'd be like, "Joe, look out! There's a puppy!" And then there was one time you came into my room. I forget what time it was. It was really early in the morning, though. You just came in and you just screamed at me, "Joe, there's a puppy!" I'm like flipping out. Like, dude, you can't be doing that. That's not cool. And the only reason why I was getting nervous, because I'm not nervous to drive. The only thing is I don't like driving in places I don't know. This is the first time I was ever in Rochester. This is the first time I was driving in a place that wasn't city life. I've only ever driven in Staten Island and in Brooklyn before. So me driving in a place not city life, I don't know anything. I didn't even know you can make rights on red. I mean, that was insane to me. So that whole...
It took my mom a while to get used to, actually, too, when we moved.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, when you spend the whole time here not doing it, I mean, the fact that you can do that, it takes them getting used to. You feel like you're doing something wrong, It's weird. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed my stay, though, up in Rochester. I felt like I definitely learned so much. It was definitely such a learning experience.
Yeah. Now, John, on another interesting note, in the guest bedroom where you stayed, originally, because we didn't know you were coming up until very last minute, so we had a blow-up bed in there, but now we have this super comfy bed.
Oh, word, you guys got me a bed?
Not just you, anybody who stays in that room.
That's my room, damn it. That's my room. Okay, nobody is allowed to stay in that room except for me.
But
okay?
It is super comfy. I've laid in it a few times, and you sink right in. It's just so cool.
Oh man, that makes me want to book my ticket even sooner. But
ask if you can come up in May.
In May, Joe, May is hard because I still have school. Remember?
Up until when?
It's the last week of May. Joe, I really don't start summer vacation until June.
Next week's my last week. What about June? What about early June?
I want to go there when I'm 21.
John, you're not drinking. I can't drink. You're not drinking.
Okay, I want to be able to celebrate my birthday with you. I want to go up to celebrate my birthday. Okay, I want to celebrate my birthday with my best friend. Okay, and I'm gonna be really bummed out. I'll be really bummed out if I'm not celebrating my birthday with my best friend. I want to have a live J&J podcast. I mean, I'm not coming up on the day of my birthday because my parents made that very clear. But I definitely want to come up sometime after my birthday. So that's why I'm thinking the week after my birthday. That way it's still there. We can still celebrate and have fun. But
I can't imagine what we would do that would be any different before 21 than after 21, right? We're not drinking. We're not going to go see strippers.
Well, first of all, you're allowed to see strippers at 18. You're allowed to go to strip clubs at 18. Anyway, so me and you have been allowed to go see strippers for a long time.
The point being is, though, we're not going to go see strippers. We're not getting, wasted, right? We're not going to drink, right? Essentially, what we're going to do...
Well, I'm going to drink, Joe. I'm not going to get drunk, but I'm going to drink.
My point is, though, right? What we're gonna do, what you've already done on the podcast anyway.
Yes,
right?
I'm sure. Yes. I drank a beer on the podcast. Hi, Oaf. For your 21st birthday, I did it.
Okay, but what we are gonna do, right? What are we gonna do? We're gonna play Monopoly. We're gonna play the Xbox. We're gonna do the J&J podcast, and we're gonna eat a ton of food. Like, there's just no difference in my mind. But you do you, John. If you want to wait, you can wait.
Now, Joe, I know there's a special rule with you in your school. You're not allowed to drink. That's right?
Yeah.
Now, if you might be, if I ask you, what classifies as drinking?
Anything with alcohol in it.
Eek, that's a really strict rule. There's no
even like community.
Because there's something I would really like to have with you, and I think even though you don't drink alcohol, I think you would be down for it in a sense. I think you would like the idea of it.
What is it?
So did you ever hear of Dave & Buster's?
What?
Have you ever heard of Dave & Buster's?
Yes.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Dave & Buster's is like, it's like Chuck E. Cheese for adults, you know? They sell but they sell like real food. They sell like not just pizza. They sell like real food, you know, and they have like a huge bar, and then they have like all video games. It's all like a huge arcade. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, Joe, I'd really like to go with you. You know, when I come up there, they just checked. There's a Dave & Buster's in Rochester. I have no clue how much money it costs, but would you be down for that?
I mean, like, first of all, if I went there, I wouldn't need to drink anyway. Like, I'm sure they sell Coke and Pepsi.
Oh yeah, no, they do, absolutely. Like, I'm just saying though, like, you know, is that something would you be down to just go and like play some arcade games and whatnot?
Like, John, it sounds like a date. Like, it's really
a date. Are you kidding me?
If you had a girl and I had my girlfriend and we went, I would be cool with it. Sounds a little weird though. Like, two best friends. Like, what'd you do yesterday? Oh, me and John went to Dave & Buster's. Right. Like
to me, that sounds like a guy's hangout. Like, yeah, you go hang out at Dave & Buster's.
Buffalo Wild Wings is a guy's hangout for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is Buffalo Wild Wings with arcade games.
I don't know. I'll think about it.
Okay, well, they sell this thing there, and I gotta give credit where credit's due. I didn't find this out. My mom did. Shout out to my mom, Lori. She brought up this idea. They sell them at Dave & Buster's only. It's vodka snow cones, and they look really good.
John, now I want to point something out to you. You do know vodka doesn't have any flavor to it. Essentially, it just
no. It's vodka that mixed with like all like the syrups and whatnot. You know, it's like.
Okay.
It still looks like it's literally a snow cone. Like, it's
I'd have a snow cone, but I wouldn't have a vodka flavored snow cone. Or
so
vodka.
You get like drunk easy, and like there's a few other alcoholic things in there, but like mainly vodka. My God, it sounds really good. I'd really like to try it. Joe, is that something you would try?
No.
I
would try a snow cone. Like, I would go there and be like, "Hey, can I get a snow cone without the vodka?"
I think their specialty is the fact that they're alcoholic snow cones. I don't know if they make them without the alcohol in them.
John, the customer is always right. Like asking you to drink without ice. You can do it.
Well, I'll let you X for that, but I will be having an alcoholic snow cone. Just saying. Because, you know, maybe you can't drink, but I can drink as long as you're driving.
There you go.
And speaking about driving, Joe, how is your driving coming along?
Well, John, I have another test that I need to take. I failed the first one. Yeah.
So, when's your next test?
Oh, you know, it's coming up.
When? You haven't set it up yet, have you?
No.
Yeah, no, I didn't think
Not
so.
yet.
I didn't think so. Well, don't set it up for the last week of July, that's for sure. Or, you know what, set it up for the last week of July. That way, if you fail, I can just bash you the whole week.
Yes, absolutely.
Actually, set it up for the last week of July, and then find out if I can be in the car with you.
You know, I don't know. I don't know if you can.
Probably not, no. That would be...
No, and you screamed puppy, I would die.
That would be amazing. I would like to go... I would at least love to go drive you, take you to your road test, and then see if you fail or pass or not. Because then if you pass, we can celebrate, and then if you fail, I can just make fun of you for the whole trip.
Right.
No, I can't make fun. It took me on my third try to pass my road test, but I'll tell the story behind that because I think honestly I would have passed on the first try. So I went for the first time. Went down to the location. It was raining super hard, so that was making me nervous in the first place. You know, I get nervous on tests. I get test anxiety. I got down there. It was raining literally super hard. Like couldn't believe it. Could barely see out the window. I do it, and I do the road test, and I fail. And she gives me like this receipt, like it has like a whole bunch of things in it. I don't even know, like like I was getting nervous, and this woman, she kept like reprimanding me the whole time. Like the driver's ed person is not supposed to talk during it. She's not supposed to talk. She's just supposed to tell you go left, go right, parallel park, do a K-turn, the whole 9 yards. Like, that's it. She's not supposed to say, like, what are you doing? Yo, you need to stop. Like, she was, like, on her phone the whole time. Like, it was really annoying, and I hated it.
Oh, John, you should have requested a new teacher. As soon as she got on her phone, I don't think that's legal.
Well, Joe, it was in the middle of the road test. Not the teacher, it was in the middle of the road test. So, I don't know if it's the same where you are, but the teacher is different from the road test.
Right, no, you don't understand, though. So, like, I'll give you an example, right? If I'm in the middle of the road test and the teacher's phone goes off, right, and she picks up the phone, I'm stopping the car, I'm pulling over, and I'm saying that's not legal, I want a new teacher.
Oh, and she wouldn't put on her seatbelt either.
That's equally not legal.
And I told her, I'm like, don't you have to put your seatbelt on? She's like, nope. She's a horrible person. And then this is how bad it was. I practiced some more, and then I schedule another road test. I go back and I get the same girl. The same girl is giving the road test, and she fails me again, but for a dumb reason. I got an automatic failure. We're at an intersection. We're at a stop sign. And Joe, tell me what you would do in this situation. You're at a stop sign. She tells you to go left. You look both ways, and you see coming on the right, coming down, where you're going to turn. 2 or 3 blocks away, there are cars coming down. Would you still make the left-hand turn?
It depends on how fast the cars are coming.
They were going at normal speed, like you know.
It's a judgment call. It's a judgment call. Like I can't, without actually seeing without seeing the situation in front of me, I can't make that judgment call.
That's fair enough. But these cars were 2 or 3 blocks away from me. So I made the left. You know, they were 2 or 3 blocks away. Clearly I had enough time to make the left. I did it. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I made the left. And she's like, that's an automatic failure. And I'm like, you told me to make the left. And she's just like, yeah, but didn't you see those cars? I'm like, yeah, but they were 2 blocks away, so we were fine. You know, like, clearly we were fine. I made the turn and there was no issues. And she's like, no. She's like, you're not allowed to do that. She's like, this is the quote of the year. She said, you either have to wait until all the cars are stopped, or if there's no cars on the road. And I said to her, I'm like, this is New York City. That doesn't happen. I'm like, that just doesn't happen. So I got an automatic failure right there and then for it. And then I took the third test. I took it at a completely different location. Got a guy, and I passed right there on the spot. So, personally, I think it was that woman who gave me the issue. But Joe, I really hope you do take your road test again. In fact, you should probably book that now for the last week of July. Did you speak to your mom about me coming down the last week of July?
Yeah, I did. She said that it was fine. I just need to set some stuff up with my schedule, make sure it's all good.
What do you have to set up?
I just need to know like where I'm going to be, if I'm going to be still at school, or if I'm going to get a job off campus, like how that, like what goes down, and then schedule it around that.
Well, did Tops ever call you back?
They called me back yesterday, and they wanted to do an interview with me today, but I could only get back down. I could only get to Tops on Thursday, so I asked them to call me back when we scheduled.
You asked them to call you back. What the hell? Joe, you know they're not calling you back, right? They're just going to move on to the next person on the list.
They said they would call me back, and I believe they would call me back.
When did they... So they said... You were supposed to have an interview with them today, though, and you said no?
Yeah, I was like, I can't.
Why not? Your mom can't drive you?
No, it's a 30-minute... Figure it like this, right? It's 30 minutes there, 30-minute interview, 30 minutes back. That's an hour and a half. Like, my mom just doesn't have time to do it today.
Joe, I don't think businesses care.
Well, it's their loss then.
But Joe, you need to get a job because if you're at that school, I can't see you then.
No, yes, you can. I'm required to take a week off if I stay at the school.
Oh man. So I think the last week of July works good. Just let me know. Like, can I buy the tickets? Yes or no?
Let me talk to my mom about it today.
Yes. Let me know. Please let me know the earliest possible. That yes, John, you're coming down last week of July. You can buy the tickets. You know, you're locked and loaded. You know, like please, I have to know early. You know.
Yeah. It'll be good. Hakuna Matata.
Kuna Matata. Oh man, means no worries. Oh, I had a good idea for a future podcast. I wanted to let you know. Wanted to ask you about it. Joe, do you know what E3 is?
You know what E3 is.
I want to know if maybe you would want to do, because E3 is broadcasted live on the internet, and I wanted to know, it's coming up in June, it's from the 14th to the 16th, I wanted to know if you wanted to do a 3-day podcast, you know, where we both of us, we watch E3 live, and as E3 is happening, we talk about everything that's going on and our opinions on the different gaming consoles from PlayStation to Xbox to Nintendo NX.
Yeah, I guess I could get behind it.
I mean, it's a few hours, but I would be willing to do it.
I would have to see what's going on at the time, but if I'm good for it, I'm good for it. You know, I'd love to.
Yeah. Oh man, but I want to do that as a future podcast, and I can't wait to start doing our video game podcasts. You know, where we're playing video games and we're talking about it the whole time. You know, Joe, you had a great idea about a movie podcast where we just sit down and we watch movies, but as the movie's going on, we're talking about the movie. You know, like I think we have some good like bonus episodes coming up that will. You know, stay off of like the original, you know, once a week episodes, you know?
Right. Well,
But,
John, it is 9:30 and I have to get going.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for we have to give our recommendations and and we have to say the name of the episode.
Yes.
Joe, so what do you recommend for the week?
What do I recommend? Gotta think. You go first, Sean. I'm thinking.
I recommend the new show on Showtime. It's called Dice, and it's about Andrew Dice Clay, and it stars Andrew Dice Clay. And it's a really, really, really funny show. For those of you who don't know, Andrew Dice Clay was a really funny comedian back in the day, born in Brooklyn and whatnot. He was the king of nursery rhymes. He would make all these really cool nursery rhymes and whatnot. So I highly recommend you go check out his show on Showtime every Sunday night at 10:30. It's a great show. It's called Dice. Go check it out.
I would probably recommend if you guys have Android, and I'm pretty sure it would be on iTunes as well. But if you have an Android, I know it's on the Android because I have it on my phone. It's a game. It's called Pirates and Traders. It's a nifty little RPG. It's free, and it's a good time.
And I think we should name this episode Caitlyn Jenner, but instead of calling her a C, we put with the K because of the Kardashians. Caitlyn.
No. How about what if we called this Transgendered and Confused?
That seems a little offensive.
Come on,
Is that like what, like off Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, it's like Dazed and Confused.
How about Joe's Transgendered?
No.
Transgendered and Confused?
I like it. It has a good ring to it.
Okay, let's do it. Alright guys, Transgendered and Confused, you heard it here first. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Special shout out to Vader Boris for creating our new theme song. Joe, you love the new theme song, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, awesome theme song. And also new logo coming out really soon. I'll start pestering these people a lot more often. And you'll be able to buy.
We have a few.
Yeah, I know, there's a few. You're able to buy shirts, hats, sweatshirts, and coffee mugs, and probably even more crap when I actually make the store. It'll be on, oh god, I don't even remember. But you're gonna be able to buy a whole bunch of stuff at reasonable prices. Thank you guys so much. Over 700 downloads worldwide. Thank you guys so much, and peace out, Cub Scout.
Peace out, Cub Scout.